And on this Friday, February 21st, 2025 edition of Newsmakers, Pope Francis's medical team says the pontiff's condition is not life-threatening, but they said today that Francis isn't out of danger. The 88-year-old pontiff marked his first week in a hospital with pneumonia on top of chronic bronchitis. Francis's doctors delivered their first in-person update on the Pope's condition. They said that he would remain hospitalized at least all of next week. The Pope is receiving occasional supplements of oxygen and is responding to strengthened drug therapy for pneumonia. Francis was admitted to Rome's Gemelli Hospital on February 14th after his bronchitis worsened. Doctors have diagnosed pneumonia in both lungs and a complex infection. A federal judge has refused to immediately block the Trump administration's abrupt halt of funding of the nation's largest private refugee resettlement program. Judge Trevor McFadden denied the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops' request for a temporary restraining order. The bishops had asked him to prohibit the U.S. State Department from enforcing a January 24th suspension of millions in aid. They say it has affected nearly 7,000 newly arrived refugees. The bishops argue that withholding millions in resettlement costs violates various laws, as well as the constitutional provision giving the power of the purse to Congress. For 50 years, Idaho has worked with the University of Washington to train doctors for the state. A bill in the Idaho legislature would end that. Brad Ford explains.
A bill in the Idaho legislature would end the connection with the University of Washington. The University of Utah would take over. The Spokesman Review reports it's because of concerns that the University of Washington doesn't align with Idaho values, specifically on abortion. The concerned Idaho money would be used to train doctors how to perform abortions. The University of Washington says Idaho money is not being spent training doctors on abortions. I'm Brad Ford.
A lawsuit filed to challenge Georgia's abortion laws being dragged down longer. The AJC reports the Georgia Supreme Court is sending a challenge from abortion rights groups back down to Fulton County Superior Court Judge Robert McBurney. The judge initially ruled 3 years ago that Georgia's abortion law violated a woman's right to liberty. As of today, almost all abortions are outlawed once a fetal heartbeat is detected. A Montana judge is striking down a 2023 law defining sex as only male and female. The Missoula County District Court judge ruled this week the law is unconstitutional, saying it excluded the plaintiffs, quote, from the definition of human beings. Residents who filed the lawsuit challenging the law included those who were born with different sex characteristics as the result of genetic conditions. The judge warned similar legislation, including a Senate bill in this year's session, would likely be struck down too. The Oregon Attorney General's office has posted a so-called gender-affirming care toolkit on its website. Attorney General Dan Rayfield says families have been targeted by the Trump administration, and the toolkit will provide information about their health care options, resources for legal concerns, and information for transgender individuals who face obstacles receiving care. And that's Newsmakers for this Friday, February 21st, 2025 edition. I'm Keith Black.